Hello there, this is EM Fresh for Fresh is Extreme, and today this is a reaction video to the new iPhone 14 Pro. And just a little disclaimer here, I do own the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Alright, so if we go to the website here, I've already watched the event, and pretty much nothing has really changed that much. They say it's bigger. Okay, and there's two versions, iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus. They say the price is lower, but these things are expensive. For my iPhone 13 Pro Max, I nearly pay, I think, $1,300. And my wife and I always buy our phone outright. And actually, she will be getting an iPhone 14 because she normally waits till it's end of life, and so I think she has an iPhone 7 or iPhone 8. Alright, you look on here, you can tell the difference between the two. And the display is pretty much the same, but the cool feature, because I am an outdoors person now, is the emergency SOS via satellite detection. Okay, I have an Apple Watch, and it actually worked pretty good. When I crashed last year at Bryce, it actually called my dad and my wife at the same time. And my dad's like, "What's going on?" I just crashed, sorry Dad. And then if I hadn't have picked up, I think it would have called 911. But since I was at the bike park, there was already paramedics already there. Okay, this is a more advanced crash detection and satellite service. So you don't need a cell phone to contact 911. If you're in the middle of nowhere, which sometimes I ride in the middle of nowhere, and there's no cell signal, and I get hurt, you can pull up the emergency SOS app and point your phone at the satellite, and then you can connect and send short messages to 911 or to first responders. The next big difference that I like on my iPhone 13 Pro Max is the camera system is top notch. And I say that, okay, not because I'm an iPhone fanboy, but because in my other side hustle, I do wedding videos. The iPhone 13 has ProRes built into it. If you don't know what that is, it is a lossless video codec. It is all the colors, information in it, and it is the native format for Apple for when you do video in Final Cut. And if you are into Apple hardware, I believe they have a chip in their new M1 chips, M2 now, that can process the highest quality ProRes. I think it's equivalent to 444 video codec. It's all information, and it's dedicated, and it enables you to use less power on your computer because it has a dedicated chip just for ProRes to decode it and encode it. And so it's really cool. All right, but anyway, on the camera was 12 megapixels before, and that's pretty big. My wife and I also have a photo studio, like picture people, and we have a printer, the Canon 2000 Pro and a 6000 Pro for printing large format, and 12 megapixel blows up pretty good. But it's really only like an 8x10 size, okay, 8x10 size print. But on this new camera, it's a 48 megapixel print. You can print or record 48 megapixel prints, which is absolutely out of this world. And I thought the low light was really good on my iPhone 13, but they're saying that it is 4 times better if you get the iPhone Pro Max version or the Pro version of the iPhone. Okay, and so that's really good. And then the battery life, which to me was already really good. I don't have to charge my phone for 3 or 4 days, but they're saying now 19 hours of video playback. Okay, that's true, probably more than that on the iPhone 13, but now they're saying 29 hours of video playback. That equates to almost, if depending on how you use your phone, at least 5-6 days of not having to charge your phone. That's how I equate to it based on my usage. Okay, and then of course they have a new A16 Bionic Chip. They say it's a 4 nanometer manufacturing process. Now what is that? What is a 4 nanometer process? I thought that's really small. They said there's over 16 billion of these transistors inside their phone. They're like really tiny. You get a microscope. The chip is really small. And it's like the M1 chip. I think they're just called A16, but it looks like everything is built into this chip. They have all the I/O, the graphics card, memory, everything's built on this tiny chip, this A16 chip. And what can you compare that to? You compare that to a RTX 3090 graphics card, okay? I think that uses, which uses an 8 nanometer manufacturing process. And so that's still small, but it allows you to have lower power consumption. So it has Face ID, which I do not use to open my phone. You don't want to use Face ID to open your phone up. Say you get a robber or a thief or somebody, give me your phone so I can get your credit card. So if they get your phone, they put your phone in your face and get into your phone. But if you have a password, I password protect the lock screen, but inside I have Face ID enabled. Okay, so I don't have to enter my password. It even stores your password in your phone. And so now they say they have super fast 5G cellular, which doesn't really pertain to me because it is very slow in the mountains where I live. It's absolutely horrible. Now when I go in the city, I go to Pittsburgh, it's like super fast. You almost get 1 gig up and 1 gig down for 5G. That's faster than Comcast, my internet hardline service. Okay, it actually is faster because you get upload and download. On the cell phone, the iPhone itself, you get about almost 200 megabits per second up and down on the 5G, which is faster than my Comcast. Even though I have 1G download, the upload is where the bottleneck is. They only give you like 35 megabits per second upload, which slows your 1G down. The 5G is where it's at. Okay. And that's pretty much basically it for the iPhone 14. Lastly, Apple has introduced what is called the Dynamic Island. And that's the one thing Apple's good at with designing interfaces for the iPhone. Make it easier to use. You don't need instructions. I guess it's hit or miss. I don't know if I would use that or not. I guess you don't really have to use it. It's just going to be in there. Like most things in Apple are just a natural process. And so it just makes things easier for you to see at first glance. And another thing I would like is the always on display. But for now, that is it. And if you haven't before, thanks for watching. And stay tuned for more videos on the different technology equipments that I have purchased or am going to purchase. And also enjoy some mountain bike stuff too.